In the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you the fastest way of building apps using Cursor right now. And I am not talking about basic landing pages. I'm talking about full finished apps with GPT integrations and everything. So let's get into it. This is the app that I've created using this process. So if you look over here, this has a landing page. I've created a Pomodoro timer for this. So it has a description, it has a title, it has a CTA button over here. It has a picture over here. I've used a placeholder image for it. It also has a ribbon. It has a features panel. It has a section for putting up all your testimonials. It has a section for FAQs and a footer as well. So if it also has a dark and a light mode. And when I click on login here, I'm redirected to the sign up page. When I come up over here, I can either sign in using a Google account or I can sign in using an email directly. So I will use a Google account over here. If I select one of the accounts, I'm logged in into the account. I'm logged in on the platform. So if you look at the platform over here, it's a Pomodoro timer. So you can start this timer and this will run for the next 25 minutes. Once the timer runs out, you can either skip or this automatically switches to the break time. And then you can start your break time or you can skip it as well. You can reset the timer as well. Apart from that, you can also add tasks that you are completing in a day. For example, if I want to add a new task, something like write the social media post, and when I click on add task, it is added to the list. I can either delete this or I can mark this as done. So these are all the tasks that are completed. When I click on generate daily summary, it creates a summary of all the tasks that I've completed in a day. There's something that you can post on office group or you can post it on socials or just keeping a track yourself. So it has basically outlined all the tasks. It has put them in different buckets. So this is done through a GPT integration in the backend. So this is the app. Again, this also has a dark mode and a light mode. All the things work fine. The UI is also something that stands out. There is also a account settings panel. There's also a pricing page. I've not configured it right now, but you can configure it using Stripe or Lemon Squeezy. You can go back to the Pomodoro timer. So this is the entire app that I've built in less than 30 minutes. I will show you the entire process. I'm using a boilerplate for this. It's a free boilerplate. I will put the link for it in the description. You can download it from there along with all the prompts that I used throughout this video. I built this app using this boilerplate. It's called Open SaaS. The best thing about this boilerplate is that it has so many functions that you need while building an app. Things like authentications, things like payment integrations, sending emails, creating an admin dashboard, and all of that. All of these are already implemented within this boilerplate. So you don't have to separately build those functions. You just have to plug in your business logic in here. So I would be taking you through how to use this boilerplate, how to build functions on top of it using just Cursor in this video. To start with, when you're on this page, go to get started. This will take you to the guide for using this boilerplate. So once you are on this guide, then you will see all the details around it, that this is built on top of Wasp. You are using Astro for documentation and blogs. You are using Stripe or Lemon Squeezy for payments. Google Analytics or Plausible for analytics. OpenAI for API integration, AWS S3 for managing file uploads, SendGrids or Mailgun for sending emails, Tailwind CSS for styling, and Tailadmin, again, one of the components of Tailwind CSS. It also has guides for implementing each of these functions, things like SEO, things like payment integration. So you can just tell GPT what you want. You can feed in the integration from here, telling that how the integration already has been built, and GPT will give you the right steps that you need to do and put them in a PRD so that the cursor can follow it. So let's get into building. I will open up a new cursor window. Within this, I will open up a folder. This folder would be the place where you are saving all your projects. I've created a My Projects folder within my root library. You can do the same or you can create something else. I would open this. And within here, I would be creating a new folder. I will call this folder New SaaS. So once I have opened up this folder, I will go into this directory. I will use the command cd new cs. Now I will start installing the boilerplate here. So I will copy up this command. I will paste this in the new directory. So I see that Wasp has been installed on my system. Now I will go to the next step. I will see if the right version is installed. So I will run this command here as well. And I see that Wasp version 15.2 has been installed. Now I will go to the next step. I will copy this command from here. I will put in the command Wasp name. Now it asks me to create a name for my project. So I would be creating a Pomodoro timer using this boilerplate. So I will just add Pomodoro timer here. After putting in the name, it asked me that which starter template I want. So over here, we would be choosing the third option, which is SaaS. I will click on 3 and it has started importing the SaaS template within the folder. So if I go inside this folder, I see that there is a new subfolder called Pomodoro timer. And within that, there are 3 folders: app, blog, and A2E test. So I will now jump onto the Pomodoro timer folder. I will open it up here. I will also open my terminal to put in the rest of the commands. So if I go on the next step, start your DB, I see that over here it wants me to switch to the app directory. So I will do that. I will go here. I will switch to my app directory. Now I will be running a database on top of it. So for that, it needs Docker installed and running on your system. So I already have Docker installed on my system. So I will just go up here and I will run the app. You can also install Docker for using this. It's a very simple setup. So once we have Docker running in the background, we will go up here and we will copy this command. We'll run it here. So we see that our database connection is done. If we go on our Docker now, we will see that the Postgres has started. So we start running the rest of the commands. So for this, we have to also create a migration. This is also within the app directory. So I will change the directory to the app directory. I will run this command. So this step would take some time because it would be installing a lot of dependencies that a product requires, things like npm. I see that these are bunch of loading messages. Our migration is done. You'll put up a new name for the migration. I will just use a naming convention that is easier to manage down the line. Now we have created the migration. Next, there are some optional steps. We can measure DB using Prisma's DB Studio. We will skip this part right now. Then we will come to starting our app. So for this, please note that we need to keep a database running. So the terminal where you ran the start DB command, please keep it running and start a new terminal for doing everything now. So now coming on to the next part, we need to copy the server.example file to env.server. So we will do that. We will just run the command here. And within the app directory, we now have a .env.server. Over here, we would be saving all our API keys. So we will come to this file in a minute. Now we have added all the dependencies in the project. Now let's run the project. So I will come up here. I will put in the command wasp start. And the server is now running. So I will go to my local server, localhost 300. And this is the website. If you see, this boilerplate has a landing page inbuilt. So we have a landing page. We just need to update it with a specific information about our app. This also has a CTA button. This has a login button for your app. This also has dark mode and light mode. This has features tab, pricing, documentation block, all of this. This also comes with a block folder. Right now, we don't want that for our app. So we will just delete it from our directory. So I will delete the blog from here. But if you want a blog as well, then you can just keep this folder and start using it. I will delete it for now. So I just have the app directory and I will also remove the documentation and blog options from the header. So once we have the boilerplate running and everything set up, then I will take a quick snapshot of this directory. So for that, there is a very good library that you can use. This is RepoMix. So for using this, you just have to copy this command npx repomix from here, and you need to run it in your directory. So it will run in the background and it will use GPT to get the entire summary of your project. So it's installing a package, and after that it has created this output where it puts in the entire summary of this project, mentioning all the important files within it and how the segments are arranged and all of this. This could be helpful when we are prompting GPT to come up with the right PRD for us. Take a quick pause here. Are you a founder who's looking to build their own app, but you don't want to pay an MVP agency $5,000 and learning coding is really overwhelming for you? I get your pain. I have something for you. I'm launching this new course that helps you build your own app on 48 hours by using just AI coding. In this, I would be telling you that how you can use tools like Cursor, Windsurf, and Lovable for building your own app. I'm launching this course in the first week of February, and you can check out all the details about it from the description below. The early bird pricing for this course is live. It's only limited for the first 20 spots, so get your copy soon. Now back to the video. I will come back to the homepage. Now when we click on the login button, we are redirected to the auth page. Let's see how the setup for this page is. So I will copy this entire thing. I will go to my terminal and I will ask, go through this file, please go through this documentation. And so we want a Google sign-in option here as well, and add a Google sign-in option on the sign up page. So we need to add a Google client ID, the API key from Google for using this. So we'll just follow the instructions shared here. I would click on this link. I'm redirected to Google Cloud Console. Over here, we have to create a new project or select an existing one. I will create a new project. I will call it or name our latest. So this new project is created. I will switch to this project. It's getting created. Let's wait a minute for it to be done. Yeah. Let's switch to this project. Now the next step for us is to enable the Google Plus API. Let's search for Google Plus API here. So let's go to this option, Google Plus API. Let's enable this. The next step for us is to go to credentials, and we have to create auth to client ID credentials. So once this is done, let's go to credentials and let's create auth 2.0 client IDs. So over here, go to create credentials, auth client ID. So for this, I have to configure the consent screen. Let's do that. So let's select external here, add the app name. Let's call it Pomodoro timer. I will use my email for the support email. Let's also add a developer email, and rest of the things can be left blank. I will click on save and continue. Then we have to add test users. Within this, I will add my email ID so that I can use it for testing. So we click add here, save and continue. I think we have this set up now. Now let's go back to credentials again. Let's click on create credentials, auth client ID. I will select the app. So this is a web application that we are creating. So let's use the default name here. We need authorized. We need RIP URLs. So let's use this for it. Let's add this here. Copy our client. Okay. Now let's create this. Let's copy our client ID. And also let's copy our client secret. If you're worried about my credentials getting misused, I would be deleting them after this video. It's updating these credentials within my .env file. So I will accept these changes. I will kill the server and I will run it again on a new tab. Let's wait a minute before this runs. Meanwhile, let's check if everything in the setup has been done correctly. Let's go to our app again. And within the login screen, I see now there is a Google option, which is exactly what we wanted to do. Let's try this again. Let's try clicking on this access block and try again later. So what is this error? Let's copy this. I got this error while trying to sign up. So let's copy this. Let's go to this client ID. Within this, we have to add one more URL. I see that we are using the 3001 port now. So that might be causing this error. So I have created this. It says that it has white space. Okay, let's save this. And now let's try again. Let's go to the home page. Let's click on this icon here. And yeah, we see that we can now we can sign in using a Google account. Let's select one of these accounts. Yes, now I'm signed in on the account. This is basically the dummy app that they have already created. The reason why they have created this is because they wanted to create an app that has some direct integration with OpenAI. So you just have to put in your keys and this will start working. So what I will do is that I will go to OpenAI and I will get my API keys to put in here. I will log in over here. I will go to the dashboard. I will get my API keys. So I will create a new API key for this Pomodoro timer. Just like the last time, I would be deleting this as well. So I will add the API key here. Please add this API key in my .dnb file. It's for using GPT API. I've added my API key here. Please go through the following documentation to see how it needs to read out. So I will copy this entire page and I will paste it here. Let's submit this. So it has updated my GPT API key. So, and the server has restarted again. Okay, so let's try using this app. So over here, I will add a task. Let's make a YouTube video. Let's add the task. I will add in 5 hours here. How many hours you work in a day? I will generate schedule. So it has added the new items and it has basically broken down the item that I wanted to add. It has broken it. Not the most accurate, but this is just to show you that you can use directly your GPT API keys here and they have already created an app. So let's tweak this app a little. So we want to create a Pomodoro timer along with this as well. So let's accept these changes and let's start a new composer window. I've opened up a new chart window. Over here, I am adding my prompt for creating the PRD. So my prompt is I'm building a Pomodoro timer. Please create a comprehensive PRD. Then I have added some guidelines. Again, these are things that I've seen at steer cursor in the right direction. You can just download them from the description, the entire prompt. Then the next step is I mentioned the technical stack choices. And I've also referenced the repo mix output that we generated earlier over here so that it knows what the entire directory is. Then I've added details about the Pomodoro timer, basically the we are trying to build. Then I am asking it to save the PRD in a new folder that we are creating. So I will create a new folder here. I will call it prd.md. Creating a new file here. And we will ask it to save the entire PRD within this. So I will reference that file here. Yeah, let's run this. We are using the Oven model over here because, it works best for this kind of things. Sonnet is really very good for coding, but Oven is very well for planning out the entire project for you. At the end, I will mention things step by step that just improves the quality of the output sometimes. And yeah, let's click on submit. Let's wait for a minute while the output is processing. Just to give you a summary of what we have done so far, we have added a Google sign up on the app. And apart from that, we have used GPT API keys within this app so that the AI day scheduler is working. We would be using the same logic for creating our app over here. So it is ingesting the long file in smaller chunks. So it has provided us with the PRD. Let's click on apply requirement summary. So we will accept this. So in the final file structure, it has provided us the way it is thinking of app is that we would want to create Pomodoro timer and all the functions related to it in a separate folder. But it would be better for us to use the demo AI app files itself. So I will just move all of this within that folder. So I will move it from here. I will copy this. I will go to demo AI app. I will paste it here. Okay, so now we have moved all the files within the demo AI app folder over here. And apart from that, now we have the implementation steps. It wants us to create a new Git branch. Let's do that. That would just save the progress for us if we lose it down the line. And it wants to update the schema.prism. Then it wants to create a new Pomodoro page. Let's keep it reuse. We don't want to create a new page. It would be implementing the timer logic task list, daily summary button. Okay, so this looks fine. Let's open up a new terminal window. Let's go back to Sonnet 3.5 here, and let's reference our PRD. Go through the attached document. Let's go to the steps, and let's start with step 2. Go through the attached document and implement step 2 from section 5. So let's copy this and let's run this in the composer window. So I will open up a new composer window. I will paste my prompt here. I will select agent and let's run this. So in the second step, what it would be doing is that it would be editing the schema.prisma file. So now it's reading schema.prisma. It has seen that we already have a task model that matches implementation, that time field which could be useful for our. And apart from that, I think we also needed some more labels. Let's see if that is required. I see those are not required, so that would be fine. So our first step is completed. Let's move on to the next step. Let's move to the next step. So instead of creating a new demo page, what we want is that we want it to use the existing demo app page itself. Yes, please use the existing demo app page to build the app. Use the same design theme. Edit the page or app on it. So it is editing the demo app page over here. Let's see all the changes. Let's go on the home page. So I see that now we have a Pomodoro timer. Overhead, we can start the timer. It is working fine. We can pause it. We can reset it. We can also add a task here. I don't think so. The task module is built so far. So let's not get into it. But so far, we have created a timer over here and we have created the Pomodoro timer. So the page looks fine. It is also matching the UI that we wanted. Let's save this. So before moving on to the next step, I will come up on my PRD and I will add done next to the tasks that are completed now. So we have completed task 2 and 3. We would be jumping to task 4 now. So I will mention that we want to do step 4 from section 5 here. Let's run this. So it has created a new Pomodoro timer.txs. Basically, this would be the component within our Pomodoro timer. So let's save this. But I don't think so this is implemented on the page. So let's check this here. Is this implemented in? So over here, I see that it has created a Pomodoro timer. The UI also matches the UI of the rest of the page. So we can click on start. The timer goes, this timer starts. And then we can click on pause. We can skip the timers. We can reset the time. So all of this seems to be working fine. Now let's move on to the next segment. We'll accept this for now. Let's accept these changes. Let's move to step 5. Let's go to PRD to see what the step 5 is. Let's mark done next to step 4. So meanwhile, this is adding our code. If you are wondering that if there are actual application of building apps like this, so then yes, there is an app called Pomo Focus, which basically does this, and this makes more than 50K per month, this app itself. So if you are planning to create a simple app using this boilerplate, you can make a lot of money out of that. So I see that our server seems to be working fine over here. It has made some changes. Let's come up here. Let's try adding a task. Let's save these changes first. save the changes. Let's come up here. Let's try adding a task. Write a script. So we got an error while saving this task. Let's go to our console to see what the error is. I will click on inspect. Let's go to console. I see that there was an error here. I will paste the error here. Got this error while creating the task. It has made all the changes. Let's click on save all and let's go back to our app now. Okay, so the task that I generated earlier is showing up now. Let's do another one. I would say write a script, shoot the video, edit the video and publish. I see right now it has a, okay, that's a delete button. Once the task is completed, I can click on the icon here and those are done. So this part is done. So we have the Pomodoro timer, and apart from that, we can mark the tasks that are completed as done in the UI over here. So all of this is working fine. Let's accept these changes. Let's go back to our PRD, and the final step over here is pending, which is the 6th step for which we are using the GPT API. So we have some tasks for the day. Let's add more tasks, things like get groceries, complete the app feature, complete the voice feature in app, build anticipation with motion. I'm just typing my random things here so that these are distinct enough that we can show them in a summary. We would be removing groceries from here because we would want it to keep work specific. So we have all the things around the YouTube video, then creating a voice feature in the end, building an integration with motion. So I will check in all of these and I will remove this build integration with motion so that we can see that if all tasks are considered while creating the summary or only the completed ones are. We want it to be the later one. So let's move on to the next step. So I will go to the next step. I will please implement step 6 from the BRD. Let's run this. So it is making all the changes. Once we are done making this app, then we can do all the beautification things like removing this from the header, only keeping the required tabs. We already have a very nice looking account section, so we don't have to do anything. But this app already looks like a finished app. This is something that I can directly deploy and put it on a live domain. So I will save all the changes over here. It is saying that the implementation is done. So let's click on generate daily summary. Today I've successfully completed the. So over here, we want this message to be something that we can send to an office chat rather than some API giving us feedback on how well we have done. So let's edit in that way. But this is nicely done. It does not consider the task that we have not completed for the day. For example, the Notion task. So this is 90% already there. So I will edit the GPT prompt to give us status update message that I can send in my office group. It should combine related tasks and the header. It should be addressing the team in the message it generates. So let's change our prompt a little and see the output then. So let's save this. So let's click on generate daily summary here. And yeah, I've got the output. Good morning team, code development, fix the bugs. No, this looks nice. I would want to make it a bit more shorter, but I think that would do for the kind of output that we wanted to generate. So this is working fine. This basically the Pomodoro timer is exactly how we wanted it to be. The UI also looks nice and clean. So I will just make the final changes where I would want to clean up the header. So let's accept all these changes. Let's open up a new terminal window, go through PRD. We want to remove the header options within the demo app. So let's save all these changes, and yes, our header only has Pomodoro timer and pricing now. So there you have it. We have built an entire app in record time. with very clean UI with all the functions working fine. Basically, this is an app that you can ship even right now. So that was this tutorial all about, giving you a quick way of creating apps, which comes with all the necessary features, including GPT or even APIs within your product. So you can use this boilerplate, which is free to use, and build your apps really fast. I hope you like it. See you in the next one. Bye bye.